Don't practice empathy at the expense of your own self-respect and your own well-being. Because, as I said earlier, if you are practicing empathy at the expense of your own well-being, it will become self-destructive. आप सब फरमाइश करते हैं कि मैं उर्दू में भी वीडियोस बनाऊं, लिहाजा इस वीडियो को आखिर तक देखिए। Have you realized that how with time we humans are becoming bitter instead of becoming better? And there is a huge reason behind it. Many of us tend to fail to identify the toxicity in our surroundings. We simply cannot block the toxic people in our surroundings. Many of you have been asking me about how can we know or identify that the person we are dealing with is toxic. So I thought that I'm going to make a video in which I will try to share some toxic traits of toxic people. In that way, probably it will become easier for you to identify that the person you are dealing with is toxic. Blocking toxic people is very important in order to maintain your sanity and your positivity. I've always said this, that toxicity is very contagious, just like positivity. If you are sitting with a toxic person, you will become a bitter and toxic person eventually. Trust me, when I recently blocked all these toxic people from my life, great things happened. I could feel this immense positive energy shift in my life. And I always say, when the wrong people leave, right things start to happen. So in my books, a wrong person is a person who is toxic. But before I talk about the basic traits of toxic people, I have to say this, that empaths are the biggest victims of toxic people. And there is a reason why. Empaths have this beautiful quality of being empaths. They believe in empathy. They believe in kindness. They believe in forgiveness. They always give those people benefit of doubts, those who deceive them, those who are toxic. I will say this to all my dear empaths, that don't get into the habit of collecting red flags. Toxicity is the biggest red flag. And if there is toxicity in a relationship, that relationship cannot survive. But my dear empaths, you need to understand one thing, that when empathy is practiced at the expense of your own well-being, when empathy is practiced without boundaries, that empathy is dangerous. That empathy becomes self-destructive. So let me share some basic traits of toxic people, which will help you with identifying that whether the person you're dealing with is toxic or not. And all these traits are based on my personal experiences. It is rightly said that energy never lies. As they say that when something feels off, it is off. We all are energy beings and we believe in the positive and negative energy. Here is the thing. Have you ever felt tired or drained while having a conversation with someone? Instead of feeling good and great or empowered or motivated, you just feel tired and exhausted to a point where you just feel like leaving that place. That's a major sign that you're dealing with someone who's toxic. Toxic people's energy is very tiring, it's very draining, it's very taxing. So if you are having a conversation with someone and you're not feeling that warmth and you're thinking that, you know what, something is off, leave that place immediately. Don't sit with that person for too long, because toxic people are energy vampires. Protect your energy, protect your sanity, and walk out. Toxic people are extremely bitter, and that bitterness comes with a lack of gratitude. There is a beautiful quote which says that I've never seen a bitter person who is grateful or a grateful person who is bitter. Just like positivity and gratitude is contagious, ungratefulness and negativity is also very contagious. If you are dealing with someone who is constantly complaining and who's constantly talking about what that person doesn't have in life, you are dealing with a taxing, toxic person. So don't engage with someone who's being ungrateful. Don't engage with someone who does not count the blessings in their lives. Instead, they keep talking about what they don't have or what they have lost. Protect your sanity, protect your positivity, because gratitude is the way to live a happy and positive life. Toxic people don't have their own credibility, so they are always in search of finding credible people. Sometimes you will see that toxic people won't let you go very easily because your presence and your credibility in their life is their only definition. Toxic people are so weak that they will always try to stay in your shadow. Toxic people want you to be by their side, not as a friend. They don't see you as a friend. They see you as a credible opportunity, which they can use, abuse, or manipulate when the time comes. So beware. If someone is trying to use your credibility, that person is toxic. Toxic people are extremely insecure and envious. They will always find their weaknesses in your strengths. They will always see their failure in your success. They might pretend that they are happy with all the achievements you have made in life, but deep inside, they are so envious that they will never be able to appreciate and celebrate your achievements in its true letter and spirit. As Maya Angelou says, when people show you their true colors, believe them the first time. So please, toxic people are extremely insecure. Do not waste your time, do not waste your energy on such people. Do not surround yourself with envious and insecure people. Walk away and never look back. Toxic people are extremely disrespectful. They will always disrespect you because disrespecting people gives them validation. They feel validated when they insult other people. These insults don't have to be too loud. Sometimes these insults come across as subtle mean comments about how you look, how you talk, how you're living your life choices, your body, your skin color. You have to understand one thing. No relationship can work if there is no mutual respect. Mutual respect is the core element to make a relationship work. So please, if you are dealing with someone who keeps on disrespecting you, who keeps on insulting you, that person is toxic and dangerous for you. Walk away. Toxic people can never be empaths. So if they're asking you a lot of questions about your personal life, about your well-being, it's never out of concern. It's always out of curiosity. Please protect your sanity, protect your weaknesses from such people, because toxic people, as they are not empaths, they will use your weaknesses against you when the time comes. Protect yourself, protect your energy. And if you're dealing with someone right now who is always curious about what you're doing in life, that person is toxic and there is no concern in their questions. Simply block them and do not overshare with a toxic person. Toxic people don't believe in the idea of self-analysis or self-growth. But it's rightly said that if you don't grow together, you grow apart. Self-growth is important. It's necessary. I mean, if you don't grow, you wither. And when you wither, eventually you rot. So in order to be a good human being, self-analysis is the key. Self-growth is important. And as toxic people don't believe in the idea of self-growth, they will never let you grow as a person. How difficult would it be to be with someone who's not willing to grow with you? If you are dealing with someone who discourages you for the idea of self-growth or self-improvement, block that person, because that person is extremely toxic for you. I hope this video will be of some help. You need to remind yourself one thing, that toxic people are everywhere. They can be in your immediate family, they can be in your friend circle, in your school, in your college, at your office, at your workplace. Protect your energy, protect your sanity and your well-being. Don't practice empathy at the expense of your own self-respect and your own well-being. Because, as I said earlier, if you are practicing empathy at the expense of your own well-being, it will become self-destructive. So please block all the toxicity from today.